One of the nice features of WordPress is the plugins feature. And plugins are basically specialized pieces of code that people have written. There's a large community of free plugins as well as some that you pay for, of code that plugs into WordPress. So you go into WordPress, you add a plugin, and it will add additional features. One of the main plugins that WordPress comes with by default now is Jetpack by WordPress, which adds just a whole bevy of useful utilities. Could be statistics to see who's come to your site, how they found your site, kind of like a Google Analytics might be. A media player, so you can play video or embed a music file on your website. I'll show you one of those actually in action here. So as we look at this blog entry from my site, there's a song I did for my son, and we see down here on the page an embedded video, and then let's see, I don't have the player on that page, but there's also a music player that goes with it. But this video is embedded using a media player from the Jetpack plugin. Jetpack plugin also has some other features for your comments and other things. Other plugins that I use are this plugin here that shows you articles you may also like. So it uses keywords and comes up with other articles, other blog entries they can link to when they get to the bottom of your page. And that can be helpful for keeping people on your page. I also show it here in the sidebar widget. Same plugin builds this. You see the scary shining girls there. So that's one of the things that plugins can do. And a key plugin that I generally recommend everybody install is the All-in-One SEO plugin. So we're going to show what that does specifically. We're looking here at the initial post on the blog entry that comes when you install WordPress. It's the Hello World blog post. And you'll see here that it has your article right here. Down below it, there's nothing. It's really the end of the page. But one of the things you want to be able to add to your site are key SEO fields, in particular the metadata fields for keywords and descriptions. And if we look at my page source and we do a search on that page source for description, for instance, we see the meta name description, and we see that it has a description I've typed in. We also see keywords, and we see here that it was put here by the All-in-One SEO pack, the All-in-One SEO pack. So we're going to take a look at how you find that SEO pack for your WordPress install. You go up here to Add New, and we would just do a search in the plugins for, similar to how we found themes, All-in-One SEO. Now you're going to see that several come back, and this is the one in particular by Michael Torbert that I recommend. There are a number of other SEO packs as well, and this one I found to be extremely functional and simple to set up. So we just choose Install Now. Once again, this is very similar to how we installed a theme on the website. We activate the plugin, and I'm going to show you what it does to the blog entry. First of all, we see here a message. It has to be configured before it's active. So we go to the admin page, and we can support them. I've actually sent a PayPal donation to them in the past. We enable the plugin. You can also have a default title, description, and keywords for your website, which I recommend, highly recommend, so that something always shows up on the home page of your site. That's what Google picks up. This home description and these keywords are one of the key elements that Google is going to place when you do a search for Google. It's going to show up as the summary. This home description, or the description that we'll see down the road when we enter it into a blog post, is also what shows up when you link your blog post or people share it on Facebook. So it's the summary information that people see, and that's really a key piece of information that you want to make sure you have something there that's meaningful, both with key search terms, but also explains what people are going to see when they go to that blog entry. So we've enabled the plugin, and I'm just going to put demo stuff. I don't really, I'm not going to worry about keyword placement because we're going to delete this site eventually. WordPress demo tutorial, whatever, and my demo WordPress site. Okay. So that's all for metadata and title description that isn't really seen on the page. The title will be seen. It's what's seen in the header of your browser. And we're going to go to the bottom, update the options. Now that we have the All-in-One SEO established, what we're going to do is go to this initial blog post, the Hello World blog post. I'm going to refresh this page just so it brings up the edit screen again. But now what we see is that there's an all-in-one SEO pack section at the bottom. So below the story, we now can put a title for this blog entry. And I'm just going to, once again, go here to this site. This is our demo site. I made some modifications. I put a new header up there that I was experimenting with. And I'm going to say view page source, description. There's nothing. There's some CSS description information, but there's no meta description to be picked up by Google. So that's not a good thing. So we go back here and we say on our title, initial blog entry by WordPress. And then under description, we'll say, here is our keyword rich description for this particular blog entry. So every blog entry you do can have its own metadata, description, and keyword. So we would say blog entry default WordPress, whatever. Okay, so now I'm going to update this blog entry by clicking the update button. I'm going to come up here and refresh this blog entry on the page, or go into the Hello World blog entry, I'm sorry. And now we're going to go and view the page source. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do a search. Well, we can already see it actually. I was going to search for description, but here we see the All-in-One SEO Pack by Michael Torbert as a comment, and we have our meta description, and we have our keywords. And then if we also look for the title, initial blog entry by WordPress. Okay, so that's what the All-in-One SEO plugin does. And so you can see that there are a number of other plugins available to you. If we go to the plugins list, and once again we go to add new, just like we were with the theme, we can see featured plugins, Jetpack, BuddyPress, Super Cache for speeding up your site, popular plugins, contact forms, so you can have contact forms on your website, the newest plugins, and there are things like photo gallery plugins, video gallery plugins, so you could just take a look and go out searching. Now, understand that if you add too many plugins, it will slow your site down, but you can add quite a few before that really happens, and find the ones that you really need to use or are really useful for the type of site you're putting together. But that's how plugins work.